Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Cynthia Baruko. On today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I made this delicious fish stew. My pot is already on fire, and in my blender I have my blended scotch bonnet pepper, red bell pepper, tatashe, ginger and garlic, and my onions all blended together. So I'm going to put it in the pot for it to dry up a little bit before I fry my stew. Also, I smoked my pepper mix. I smoked everything before blending. If you notice, the color is a little bit dark. Then I move on to fry my already marinated fish. I marinated my fish for an hour. I used thyme, bouillon cubes, ginger and garlic, onions, and spices to marinate my fish. I fry and turn the other side so that it will fry properly. Yeah, if this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please don't make it your last by clicking on the subscribe button. Thank you. My fish looks good now so I'm gonna remove my fish from the hot oil. I'm still going to use my hot oil to fry my already dried tomato. The tomato I put in the pot at the beginning of this video to dry up a little bit. I've already put my salt, my onions, and I've fried it. Now I'm adding my already dried tomato to the oil for it to fry. Trust me, this oil is not too much. I know people might be saying, is the oil not too much? It is not. It is not at all. It's actually okay. You'll see it later on in this video. So I'm gonna fry my blended mix. Did I mention that this blended mix is already smoked before I blended it? If you don't have an oven, you can use your non-stick pot to smoke the pepper, the onion, everything. It comes out really nice. It gives a really different taste to your stew. So I start frying my stew mix. You stir fry properly. I leave it for about a minute before I turn again. You have to stir fry your stew properly so that it will not slap. At this point, I add my tomato paste. Yeah, sometimes I mix my tomato paste with water before adding it to my before frying, but I just decided to fry as it is without mixing inside water. So you have to mix properly when you are frying your stew. You have to mix everything properly and fry, stir fry very well. You see that the oil has disappeared. I told you guys the oil was enough, was okay. It wasn't too much. It was just okay for the stew. So I fry properly until you will notice that the oil will start coming on top of the stew a little bit. That's how you will know that your stew has fried. In fact, you would know when your stew has fried. Continue stirring and frying. You stir at intervals so that it will not burn. I think it looks good now. So I'm gonna add this spice. This spice is basically to add more color to it. That was why I added it. So the redness will pop out more. because the color is a bit dull due to the smoked pepper. I'm gonna add my seasoning powder to it. I like adding my seasoning when I'm frying my tomato, my stew. I stir properly so that everything will mix together. At this point, I add a little bit of water because I know that my stew has properly fried, so I add a little bit of water to the mix before I transfer to my pot. I am not going to be cooking my stew in the frying pan. The frying pan is just to fry the stew. So I think I've fried the stew very well, so it's time to transfer to my pot, to my stew pot. So yeah, this is the stew, the fried stew. Now at this point you have to add water. If you have stock from your chicken, if you have stock from your fish, you can add your fish stock, but I don't have fish stock because I didn't parboil my fish before frying. After adding water, I stir, then I add my bouillon cube, that's not cube. I stir. My stew looks really nice already. At this point, I introduce my fish to the stew. The special guest of today's meal is the fish stew. Yum, this stew was really delicious. It was really delicious. My stew is done. I'll just stir, and at this point I have to test for salt to know if it's good. Then you add a little bit of salt if necessary. Then I cover my pot and allow it to cook for some time. Stew is done. If you feel like your stew is very thick, you can add water to it. It's optional. My stew is ready. This stew was delicious, trust me. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait for you guys to try out this recipe. Bye bye.